If you don't know Liftoff, he has a fantastic YouTube channel. I've been following this guy since I think like 2021. I don't know when we're gonna ask when he started posting videos, but I think it was like 2021. I found him and I was like, yeah, this guy's good. He didn't like he was small at the time, but I was like, man, this guy's gonna. And sure enough, 20,000 subs in like a year and a half. Like he's killing it. Great scratch tutorials. Let's bring on my man Liftoff. What is up, bro?
What's up? What's up? Appreciate you. I'm great, man. Appreciate you for having me. Oh, of course.
What do you think about all this shit? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about AI? Like, do you think it's gonna like because this shit it's constantly learning and constantly growing, man. Like at an exponential rate, like you know how like that snowball effect or whatever. Like apparently, like it learns faster and faster every second. So like in 5 years, it's gonna be 50 years ahead or something. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I read these crazy shits and it bugs me out.
I feel like eventually it could definitely, like some AI could definitely beat mix. But the thing, because I've definitely thought about this in the past, but as far as like the crowd, I always think about the crowd. So if you have like a big club, say 300, 400 people, and then the AI is mixing, because I'm like thinking of like a live session or a live space. How is it going to like read the crowd to determine what to play next? That's like the biggest thing for me. It can
facial
mix,
recognition. What
that
if
would
they're
be
able to facial
for the
recognize
whole like
everybody, and they can note, oh, stink face, more of this, or I don't know. I mean, you're right. That's a long time away. Like
I'm about to say, you never know. I mean, shit. That's I never thought about that. You give it 10, 20 years. Bro. I mean, they're making some crazy stuff. You never know. You never know. But
yeah,
nah, I can't see AI taking over too quickly. Like nah, not super soon at all.
But my thing is though. So. But it will take over. It will like it's going to be a really, really good option for people that don't value a good DJ. That's my point. Like you have
that makes sense. That makes sense.
You have an entire group of people that like throw parties that don't value the DJ. They exist all the time. If you've ever been hit up by a client and they're like, "Yo, can you do a better deal?" or "Why are you so much money?" and they're like shocked at whatever you charge. It's usually because they don't value the DJ. They're just trying to get the best deal possible. The people that value music and value what a DJ can bring to a party, they don't blink at prices. They want who they want, and that's it, and they just pay it. And I've seen it over and over and over again. And I think those people that don't value the DJ, they are going to jump on Spotify AI. They're going to jump on why deal with a guy that's charging $150 that might not even show up, and it's not even that good when you can get AI to – you know, curate a pretty neat list. We'll call it neat.
When you frame it like that, no, I think you're absolutely right, because even now I have problems sometimes charging. I know like you're in the New Jersey area, but I'm mostly I live in Arizona now, but I'm from Michigan, so I'm trying, or most of my gigs are in Michigan. Yeah, really? So that's where I'm from, but I actually moved to Arizona 2.5, 3 years ago. So I'm out here now, but I still do like I hire other DJs to like kind of take care of my gigs there. But as far as like pricing, I know people are undercutting the hell out of me. Like just I know that's like been around forever. But for people who don't value the music, no, you're right. Like why not just for how cheap you're gonna be able to get an AI instead of, like you said, dealing with having someone have to come, worrying about setting up on time. Are they gonna be a good DJ? This, that, and the third. Then next thing you know, they're gonna have fucking AI MCs or people hyping up the crowd.
Put your hands in the air. It's like, what the hell is that?
They're gonna take it there. They're gonna take it there. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows where it's gonna go? Regardless, I think it's just always a safe bet to practice and get as good as you possibly can. Constantly evolve. That's always a safe bet.
That's the only bet.
Crazy. The only bet, literally.
That's the only bet.
I love your tutorials, man. What so like you're pretty well known for like your scratch tours and everything. Like you do like you've some of the best ones I've ever seen like on YouTube.
Appreciate you.
And you really break them down good and stuff. But like, do you scratch like how do you handle like private events and stuff? Do you scratch at private events as well? You know?
It depends. So like I'm a super big crowd person, so I can almost like can't necessarily read a crowd and tell if they want to hear me scratch, but like I'll always like when I do transitions, I'm rarely like just hitting a cue button. Like even if I'm doing like a quick baby or chirp scratch, I'm like scratching it in just like to keep DJing fun too, because I don't like just pressing the cue buttons. Yeah, but some events, depending on what it is, like at a wedding, I'm definitely not scratching too much, like keeping it more minimal. At like a club scene, I might scratch a little bit more. But if it's like a smaller event where I know people are like really valuing the music and they want to see like a real DJ set, I'll try to scratch like a lot more. So it really like depends on the crowd, depends on the event, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you kind of chameleon with it.
Yeah. Like I can go crazy if I need to. Like sometimes I go a little too crazy and I get like ahead of myself and I'm like, I mean, every DJ messes up a little bit, but I'm like a big pusher of like, just try it. Like I know so many DJs that can scratch, or even if you're like a beginner, sometimes like if you're an absolute beginner, maybe not, but like once you start developing like the techniques, just go out and do it live. Like even if it's a baby, even if it's a chirp, because otherwise if you don't, like you'll never start to actually do it live. Like you'll always be kind of afraid to do it.
It's weird too when you do it live, because I feel like you can there's been so many cuts that I had down, like as I learned how to scratch, like there was cuts I had down all day in my room right here, just killing it, right? Just all day. And then I go to do it live and butchered it every single time. It's like when you can do a cut live confidently and like, you know, 9 out of 10 times or whatever, it's like a whole nother level of expertise, I feel like, because that was so hard for me. Like I could chirp in my room, it's like, but when I try and chirp live, it sounds like absolute shit. I miss it every single time. I don't know if it's nerves or what. So like it took me twice as long to practice it, to get it to, it's like I don't know, at least for me, I don't know.
It's a little, I'm about to say it's probably nerves, and then like you want to do it so perfectly. Like in the bedroom, like nobody's listening, it's just you, so you're just like feeling good, you're relaxed, arms are relaxed, you're killing it. But then when you get out there, you're like, okay, it's coming up, I'm about to do this particular thing. I have to make it perfect, and I think we just overthink it. So for me, in the beginning, I definitely had that, but I've definitely gotten to a point where now I'm kind of comfortable, kind of just like freestyle scratching. I feel like when you can freestyle scratch more without like thinking about what you're about to do, it like feels a little bit more natural. So at the beginning, it definitely was tough. I think it's tough for everybody at the beginning, but now I'm pretty comfortable. Like I can hit my scratches pretty on beat always, and keep it funky too a little bit.
You think the freestyle really helped then? Because that's a good point. Like you could.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what that is, essentially you just put on a beat and just cut, and just like whatever techniques you do different combinations, and just it's almost like freestyle rapping. You're kind of like doing a cadence over the but when you can kind of do that without thinking, just vibing, like that is like a good
I think that's the biggest thing, because I teach scratch patterns, particularly like the way I learned like a lot of different scratch patterns from like great DJs. And then after a while, I started realizing when I tried to like think in my mind and go back and do a particular scratch pattern, I couldn't remember it because I had known so many. So at that point, I started almost blending them together because I like knew like 20 at that point. And then that's when like the freestyle element kind of came in, because I would like take one piece from here, one piece from there, one piece from there, and then it started flowing. And I'm like, okay, now I'm not actually trying to like think about a scratch pattern. I'm like trying to do one, but I'm like doing multiple. And then that's how I kind of started freestyling, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting. It was true though, and that's how I learned too. And I think that's the best way, like mimicking, essentially, like taking, like 100%. That's one of the greatest ways to learn how to DJ. You take something that another DJ does, essentially bite what they're doing, but in your room, not live, just bite what they're doing in your room, learn it, master it, and then like once you do that with so many different things, then like your body, you just subconsciously start like making up your own stuff in different combinations of all those DJs. And don't make the mistake that I did and just listen to one DJ, just be obsessed with one guy for a year straight. Like that's what I did with AM. Like when I first started like cutting and stuff, I was just listening to AM for a year straight, and then like every cut I have is AM's cut. So then I had to start like, okay, all right, what about Spin Bad? What about
what about some of these other guys?
What about Scratch Bastard? Let me broaden my horizons here. And then because that was like a big mistake I made, and I realized just I crab a whole lot. Why do I crab so much?
No, that makes sense. And the good thing about that is there's so many, like YouTube, there's so many, or just the internet in general, there's so many DJs to listen to and to get inspiration from. But no, that's a good point. Like listening to one person, definitely after a while, you pretty much be like almost like a replica. And then you start realizing like, damn, I sound identical to this person. But yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Literally, man, it's bad. You start turning into them.
Yeah, literally, that will happen.
Who's your favorite DJ? Do you have like a favorite, or you got like a top 3 or something? Like who's on your Mount Rushmore, you would say? I know you're a Jazzy Jeff fan. I've seen you do a lot of his stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right. I would say my top 2, definitely Jazzy Jeff, DJ Puffy. Is my second. Like he's almost like tied. I mean, I think Jazzy Jeff, like just historically, like he's the man, obviously. I love Puffy though. Like I study his scratch patterns. He was the first person I started studying. Number 3 is tough. I have so many that I watch and listen to.
You ever see Puffy? You ever see Puffy MC too though? Like he's ridiculous, man.
He's like I aspire to
like
get to
a party rocker. Like
oh my goodness,
like, if you guys haven't heard of Puffy, watch his video. Yeah, he's really good. Not just DJing. Obviously, he won the 3, but like working a crowd.
working like I've watched this, like watched him do that too, and I'll try to replicate it, and I'm definitely not there MCing wise yet, but yeah, he's definitely like he could be his own hype man, literally go to the board, scratch. Like the hardest thing for me is like trying to focus on, okay, I'm about to scratch, I'm about to make sure I'm mixing good and hyping up the party. Like I feel like sometimes you have to focus on one or the other, but Puffy, man, he is like a rock star, man.
They have a unique way of so like especially the island dudes, like so the old reggae DJs back in the day, they would famously like build tension and like use like simple things like to really work the crowd that like people overlook, I think, all the time, like silence. The old reggae DJs back in the day, you watch old videos, they would literally like take a song and then literally like cut it out and then just bring the bass in and just have the bass going and let the bass ride for like a minute, and people are just like, they know it's coming, they know that beat's coming, and then he brings in the other EQ and just slowly brings in the EQ and just uses that to build tension and literally for like 5 minutes straight, like the longest ever, and then at the end of the 5 minutes he brings in the whole thing, everybody's like, it's just like, and he's doing this with like one channel, like just there's no tricks, it's just using that, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I've seen a bunch of videos of it back in the day, like from back in the day, the old school dudes with the huge systems with like the speakers were like taller than them. You know what I'm talking about? Like
those super humongous. Yeah, of course, crazy.
And it's genius, like because there was no technology back then. You could just had two records, but like how they just used just to build that tension for 5 minutes and just like not even saying a word and just I don't know, it's crazy. You know?
Like that, I'm like that's part of it. Like that tension build up, especially when the crowd like knows what's happening to an extent. Like they might not know fully, but like building something up, there's nothing like it. Like building up and then dropping the track, and then everyone
you got them.
It's just
and everybody's
yep, 100%.
You know, sometimes you know the most simple things can like really like work. I don't know.
No, agreed.
But you can't think of number 3.
If I had to go like turntablist, I would say probably like. I can't study him that much because his stuff is like almost too advanced, but probably Qbert. Like I watch his stuff and just the way his hand is just like on the platter, or on the vinyl, whatever. Like it's insane, but it's still hard. Like I probably wouldn't put him like overall DJ, like MCing, DJing out there. I just gotta go 2. I can't think of a third. There's too many people. Like Scratch Bastard. I love Miles Medina.
He's good too.
There's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people I like. What about you? Who would you say your top 3 is? I don't think I've ever. Do you have a top 3?
I'm a big AM fan, so AM's my number 1. Jeff is up there. But then like as far as you know, I'm a big Scratch Bastard fan. I'm a big
I'm a huge Scratch Bastard fan too.
And I've seen them both live, and they can like they're live like with my own 2 eyes, like actually being there. Scratch Bastard and 4 Color Zach are like the best sets I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Like they like like Scratch Bastard cuts his face off, but makes it work. Like literally he'll build tension with a super fast chirp. He'll chirp for like 2 minutes until everybody stops what they're doing and they're watching him. He's still chirping, and then he drops the hardest shit ever. And this is to a regular crowd that doesn't even know who he is. Like when I saw Scratch Bastard work a room, and it was just that it's always packed. Like they just the dude who books the club is a big like, you know, he loves the culture and everything, so he brings in like really good DJs. And like this was just a regular young crowd that didn't know who Scratch Bastard was, and he scratched his face off and like. It just, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it. And then 4 Color Zach, like he's just like he plays way different music than anybody else. So like he doesn't play the regular stuff. Like he makes like all these like these tracks you forgot about work in the most creative way possible. And he cuts, but he cuts just so like just a little salt and pepper here and there, clean as hell. And I just love the way he plays. Like, you know what I mean? Like those two, like if you ever get a chance to see either of those live, man, I think they're just insane. And I really want to see Chris Villa live because like all his videos, he's just we had him on the show last week, but like he's so good. Like, and his ideas are just like,
man, I love it. He's in Arizona, so I can see him anytime pretty much.
Oh yeah, you got to go. Have you seen him?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, he's crazy. He has some crazy transitions, like the tone plays, word plays, all that kind of stuff. Like when he gets dirty. Chris V is nice. He's nice,
and he get cut. He's disgusting. He got that 125 BPM click. How do you do that?
I practice that all the time. I don't know how. Like he probably has the fastest one. I mean, there's other DJs with some pretty fast ones. Yeah. But his is just, and he does it for so long, and it's so crisp. It like it never blends into like when he's cutting. It's It's insane. It's insane.
It's
Chris V is nice.
So accurate. Yeah,
he's
it's
nice.
Insane.
He's
That
nice.
wrist is that wrist is mechanical. I'm convinced.
Literally,
he's got metal. He's got metal. He's got a one of those enhanced wrists. You know, he got wrist surgery. I'm calling it out now publicly. All right,
I'll take it. I'm with you on
that. He got a fake metal wrist.
It's insane.
You got to oil that thing before every show. Yeah. That's cool, man. How you like Arizona? What's it like out there other than super hot in July? I was there in July, and I literally wanted to die. That was crazy.
The heat is insane. I'll never forget when I first got here, the first summer. I got here like right before COVID. So it was like we got here in January and then COVID hit like March. But the first summer, I'll never forget, me and my wife, we were going to like just like an outdoor plaza. And it was like 112, 115, and people are just out there chilling, like on benches. Kids are running around, and it's just like a normal day. And we weren't sweating, but like just doing normal stuff, like walking to a store, like dying of heat. And people are just out here chilling. I'll never forget it. But other than that, like
used to it?
I guess so. I'm not used to it yet. I've been here 3 years. I mean, it gets a little bit better, but 112, 115, like the dry heat, it's not as bad as humidity, but it's still bad. But like other than the heat, you kind of get used to it. But like the mountains, I love the mountains in the backgrounds. The roads are nice. There's like so much new stuff getting built. The party scene out here, like there's so many, like Scottsdale area, there's like so many clubs, bars. There's always something happening.
True.
So that's super dope. It's been hard breaking in though, because I came here right before COVID, and I like kind of started mingling and talking to people. COVID hit for a long time, and then I kind of like gave up during that period, and now I'm like back trying to like fit my way into circles and whatnot. But overall, it's dope though. Overall, it's definitely dope. I love it.
How old are you?
30. Just turned, or not just turned 30. 30 October 1st.
You young, bro. You young. We're like in the same situation too. You got a baby, I got a baby.
Just had a baby.
Trying to make videos, keep the baby from crying, all that.
Man,
sure, right? And all
how's that for you? It's been so
bro.
far, because I know you're crazy busy on the weekends, like, and then trying to make, you just like make videos all during the week.
Yeah, no, I just like choke them out, and then I just start. No, I'm kidding. Shouts to my wifey. She keeps him down for me. You know, every once in a while, he'll get cranky or whatever during, but we just kind of try and figure it out. You know,
nice,
I kind of live it like I've been living in the same house forever. You know, it's still like my first kind of small house, so like it's not a lot of space. You know, like my dream is to have like my next house. Like I'm gonna have like a whole YouTube studio in my basement. Like I want to like pimp it out, you know what I mean? Like soundproof, and like have like a little sign in the back that says Nick Spinelli Show.
Official.
Shit. Like I want to like expand on it big time. Like I would love to have like a official sign and do all my interviews in person, and then we can like
that'd be super dope. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like in real life, you know. But
your like live stream setup, and then like you're just energy. Like your shows are really good. Like I tune into a lot of them. But I do still feel like there's 100%. But like there is just that extra just oomph and alive, like being right in front of people. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just that in-person chemistry or connection, energy, whatever. But
100%.
But no, you got a great thing going still though. Like so, if you go if you go in person, it's gonna just catapult, take off.
I think it'll be so much better. I don't know. I'm figuring out where to take all this, you know, because you know, you got to evolve constantly. You know what I mean? I want to keep doing the same thing. So
it's a tough space.
Like, what's your YouTube plan? Like, you're about 120 something videos deep, which is like, dude, I can't tell you how awesome that is. Like, you put in the work, you got your 100 videos in, and you're already at 20 something thousand subs. You already hit over 1 million views. Everything that's huge, man. Especially like in our super small niche. Man. You know, it's not easy. You know, like what. Like what are you gonna just are you keep doing what you're doing? You got like another like what's your future plans? You would say
it's tough, man. Like I think about it constantly because at first, like I still love doing like what I'm doing, like my scratch pattern breakdowns. But at the end of the day, like stuff does no matter what. After you've done something for like a long time, I feel like it starts getting stale. I don't necessarily know. Like I kind of want to get into like more entertainment thing. Like the video with us dropping, I'm still like recording other people. Not gonna mention what that is right now, but like kind of just like trying out some new entertainment style stuff. I was possibly gonna do interviews, like add that on. I may or may not. I don't know if I'm like the perfect person to be like a host for interviews, but I mean, I'm definitely gonna keep doing scratch tours. But I don't know, man. Like that's something I think about constantly. Like what is the next thing? Like I follow a couple of people who kind of like do reviews of equipment. I've thought about doing like that kind of thing. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm figuring it out. It's a tough space to stay relevant, stay helping people, stay fresh.
What got you into YouTube? Like, what made you start making videos and stuff? It was 2021, right? 2020.
So I don't even remember, because I actually started making videos like in 2012 when I was still, or like maybe 2009, 2010, but not like non-DJ related. It wasn't even a DJ yet. I was in high school. I used to make like these super dumb, funny, comedic skits like with myself, where like I'd play different people. I put on like wigs, like just like crazy. I was doing that shit. Like
look this shit up.
It got deleted. Like, so when they started taking down channels, because some of my stuff was bad. Like, it was like offensive. Like, it was back before, like, you know, everyone kind of got.
You did like Chappelle Show type shit, like
not that far, but like shit some people say, or like I would have like curse words in some of my titles. It just like was slightly offensive, and then they just took my channel down. But no, I was doing that for a while, way back when, and then I stopped doing that because it got taken down. They were fun. They were stupid but funny. And then I think I started doing the DJ videos. Yeah, about like 2 years ago, I believe. So what's that? Yeah, like 2021, beginning of 2021. And why I started, I used to watch DJ Angelo super heavily, like that. He's the one who taught me how to scratch, like on YouTube. If you're looking for tutorials, he has amazing. Like his shit is like 10 years old, but you can watch it today and still literally learn how to scratch controller, vinyl, whatever you're scratching on.
The old Techniques mixer, like the original, like the setup is like it's the legendary setup from back in the day.
OG setup. So I started watching him, but I just felt like I could help people a little bit more. I felt like the way I could break it down a little bit slower would help people, and I also wanted to like just give my 2 cents in the way I personally learn how to scratch, because I feel like it's such a tough thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand the real time it takes from beginning to even like to like learn the basics of scratching and then becoming intermediate. The people that are advanced, like, they have put so many years, so much time into scratching that it's insane. Like, I would say I'm still intermediate. I'm not even like advanced yet, but just wanted to add my 2 cents. Like, I felt like I could break it down a little bit slower and help people a little bit more. And it turned out to work pretty well, so I couldn't be happier.
Because it is one of those foreign things. I remember I didn't scratch for the first 10 years of me DJing. You know, I started DJing when I was like 15. I didn't start scratching until I was like 25. And so like the first 10 years I knew of scratching, but it was just such a foreign thing. I didn't understand for the life of me how it worked, how it was done, anything. And there wasn't anything for the longest time that really broke it down. I mean, some people can kind of like look and like understand, but like I couldn't. I remember just looking at people moving shit and just like, what are they? I don't know what he's doing, you know? And then it took me to go to like the Scratch Academy to literally figure. I went to Scratch Academy and all of a sudden they literally broke it down. And so I literally needed in person. Like, otherwise, like I don't think my dumb ass wasn't figuring it out. But like, but your videos truly do break it down like in with the right pace. You know what I mean? And so you can really, and you cover every detail. And I think not a lot of people do that because, you know, and it's smart. Like, it's smart that you do that, because a lot of YouTubers, myself included, especially once I started, like you think when you get, how do I explain this? You make videos, right? And you kind of like overlook certain things and think like, well, that's too simple. I'm not even going to explain that because that's going to bore somebody. When there's levels to this shit. You know, there's people that know absolutely nothing, and there's people that like know a little bit, but not that one thing that you thought was too dumb to explain. You know what I mean? You have to like really like look at content from a perspective of like a brand new DJ, and I feel like you do that like you know, naturally, and that doesn't come like I had to learn that later. And like most people don't. Like a lot of YouTubers, like they kind of just assume you're at this level and all their content is this level and above. They don't even explain below that level. Like they're not even going to do that. You know what I mean? And you have to.
100%.
It helps people. So
no, I agree 100% wholeheartedly. Like, I've watched some DJs because I just like check out other DJs tutorials on YouTube, and it's like super technical, and I'm like, what? Like literally what you're saying. What about the DJ who like has, like, even if you came in and then you're like, do some scratches, then you're going to transform here. Some people like don't even know the motion of a scratch or the motion of a chirp or a transformer. They don't know what it is. They don't know the motion of the crossfader. They don't even know what the crossfader is. They're just like, I just got my controller and I'm watching these scratch tutorials and I have no idea what's going on. So I try not to get like too technical, because I have a music theory. Like, I went to school for music production and engineering, and like a lot of my classes were like music theory and jazz theory. So like I come from that background, so I can kind of easily understand stuff, but then also break it down in a way that it's like, okay, I'm going to break this down so I know someone who's a very, very much beginner can understand this.
If you had to pick 3 scratches that you think like every DJ should know? Like, what would be the 3 top? Like, just to, you know, there's levels, obviously. You can get to a whole Qbert level, right? And then and everything in between. But just generally, like, could you, like, what would 3 scratches be that you think is just super useful for any DJ, no matter what kind of event you do? If you do weddings, mitzvahs, doesn't fucking matter. Like, it's good to know these 3 scratches.
I would say people underestimate the baby scratch. I know it sounds super basic, but it's all about the speed of your hand. Like when you're DJing, the speed of your hand really, really matters. You can do quick cuts with the baby. You can do slow. So I would say definitely, and these 3 will go together. Like a baby, a chirp, for sure. And then I almost want to say, I guess I got to go transformer. I will go transformer. I'll say if you really get down if you get down the baby, you get down the chirp, and you get down because you can do a lot with the transformer. Everything else, like 1-click flare, 2-click flare, crab scratch, all that is like nice once you start getting a little bit more advanced. But yeah, if you knock those 3 down, start there and really, really perfect them, you'll be good to go. Like moving on from there.
I completely agree. I would have picked the exact same 3.
Same 3?
Like, I would say 90% of all the scratch combinations you hear are those 3 scratches, you know, in there, you know, without going advanced. Because like I think same thing, like flares and stuff. You're kind of getting to the next level, you know, and
definitely
they're very hard, you know. Yeah, all 100%. That's exactly what I would say. How long did it take you to learn though? Like, you know, like the chirp, for example. The chirp was the hardest scratch for me. Like,
really? Oh, the timing, trying to push it. Did you? So what made it difficult for you when you first started trying to do it? Like the chirp specifically.
The second sound. So second sound. I was getting the first sound, and then when I was bringing it back, right? So it's a dut, right? The back sound I couldn't catch for the longest time, and I remember I would sit in my, it was a DJ office for a company I worked for, and it was on this real busy road, and and it's facing the road, so these cars would go by, and I would just sit there and chirp and just watch these cars go by for hours and hours and hours until one day I'm like, holy fuck, I got it. And, you know,
no, that sounds just like I feel like everybody has that same moment. Mine was actually the opposite. So mine was the motion going forward. I would cut the sound too quickly, so I wouldn't get the chirp. Like I would cut it before I pushed into the platter. So that was like I couldn't. It took me forever to like get that timing. The back part was actually like super easy, but the front part was like impossible for me for the longest. And overall learning how to scratch, man, I quit. Like I'm super honest. Like I have videos, like if you go back to my old terrible videos that like had bad quality, bad audio, all that kind of stuff. Like my first couple videos, I like explain my scratch journey, but it took me a good like 2-3 years to like, some of that was like quitting, getting back to it, to like get to a point where I'm comfortable scratching like in public or scratching live and like being super comfortable. It was a long journey, man. And it was a lot of just persevering, honestly. Like, cause there were so many times where I would get to a point and I'm like, why am I even learning this? Like, so many DJs don't know how to scratch. Like, what's the point of doing this? Then I'm like, nah, but there was something in me. It was like, I have to learn this. Like, if I want to be, not to say everyone, you can be a true DJ if you don't know how to learn how to scratch, or if you don't know how to scratch. I mean, people have differing opinions, but for me, it's like, I personally felt like I have to, like, this is part of DJing. I have to learn how to scratch. So I just kept going until I started getting everything down. Like, started with the baby, went to the chirp. I don't even know what I went next after that, but I took it one by one, perfected it, and then like kept going. Then I started learning scratch patterns, and then so forth. But it took a while. How long would you say it took you, like to put it together? It took me years to really put it together.
Yeah, definitely years. But like, you know, I was in a class, so I had homework and all that. So like, I learned how to chirp in about 2 months.
Okay.
But like 2 months of like practicing like every day. You know what I mean? Like
that's a big thing too. How much you practice.
Because you want to, it's so easy to quit, you know, like you got to, like, I think it's better to know, like, if you want to learn how to scratch, just know it's going to take years, enjoy the process of learning, and know you're going to hear yourself suck over and over again until you start getting it right. But then once you get it, it's that, like, when you work really hard at something and you get it, you know what I mean? It's like that much more fulfilling, I think, and it's always worth it. You know, the more work you put into it, like, it's better at the end. So it's always worth it. It's easy to quit. It's easy to say most DJs don't scratch, and it's true. You don't need to scratch. Like, I know plenty of great DJs that barely cut it all, but they're so good at like programming, and their timing and the way they play music is like ridiculous. So it's like personal preference. But if you do want to scratch, you do love the culture and you like that, and you want to, because like scratching takes DJing and turns it into a musical instrument to me. Like, you know what I mean?
100%.
Like DJing, you're curate, you know, you're a selector, you're blending. It's still a musical instrument, but like when you cut, you can freestyle, you can like, you know what I mean? Like it's so much more fun. It's just I don't know, especially if you have ADHD. You know, you could just constantly just, you know, you're gonna be touching shit no matter what, so you might as well.
You might as well throw it in there. And you made a good point. Like I don't want to scare anyone off saying like it takes years and like that sounds like a long time, because if you do like a Scratch Academy, or even if you're learning on YouTube, you can definitely learn in a shorter period of time. I'm more so saying like to really, really get it down to the point where it's all just around. Like second nature, all around second nature. Just you like any, like whether it's a controller, a tiny controller, a big controller, vinyl, you just hop on the decks and you're like second nature. Like that took me years, I would say.
Yeah, but then it does take years, but you're gonna have small W's along the way, right? You're gonna get really good at the baby early on, right? Then you're gonna get the chirp down in a few months, and then but you constantly perfect the chirp. But all those W's, you'll enjoy the process with those small little W's along the way. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, definitely years. And shout out to Chris Villa.
Perfectly said.
We're just talking about you, bro. Yeah, Spinbad was the GOAT, man. R.I.P. man. He was he was so good. So good. I discovered Spinbad late because I was such an AM fan. And I was so like tunnel vision, like AM, and then like I was like, whoa. And then like afterwards, it was, you know, like I discovered Spinbad, and it's a whole nother like his radio shows. Like he's had these mix shows, like they're all on SoundCloud somewhere. You got like if you guys haven't heard him, he's from like the Northeast, I think. See, I don't even know where he's from. Is he from like Boston or something? Let me know in the chat. Do you know where he's from, Spinbad? Is he? From,
I'm not
like,
sure. I'm not
sure.
sure.
I thought he's from around here. I'm tripping. Anyway, but yeah, so good. Absolutely disgusting, and yeah, man, it's definitely fucking crazy. I mean, what like do you like event wise? Like, what do you do? Like, do you do more weddings? Do you do more like clubs? Do you do like both?
So at this point, I haven't done a club in a while. Right now, I'm doing a lot of like I'm going back to Michigan, doing a lot of weddings. As of recently, yeah, just
flying back for that.
Yeah, so I put it into like my package. So I don't do all of them. So I have a few other DJs that kind of take care of most of my stuff. Like if it's a really, really big one, because I do photo booths, like kind of like semi big lighting setup sometimes.
Your own company?
And yep.
Okay.
And sometimes I need to just be there to make sure certain clients and certain things go like perfectly. So I like just a mind thing. I have to go back. Like sometimes I'll DJ, sometimes I'll run a booth and like listen to another DJ that I have to make sure like he's cutting and making sure he's MCing well, all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's been a lot of weddings. Like I just haven't been able to break out, or maybe I haven't been trying that hard, I guess, like with the baby and everything. And then I have a 9-to-5 job too, to like get into the club scene out in Phoenix or like the Arizona area. So yeah, it's been weddings, man. Definitely weddings.
That's dope.
Yeah, I used to do a lot of clubs like before I came to Arizona, like
in
literally.
Detroit?
Yeah, it was damn near like I had a few residencies, and I was doing like a lot of stuff in my college town too. But yeah, since I've been here. Weddings, man. Weddings.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you?
I want to get to like half and half.
Yeah, I remember seeing you say that. Like, yeah. I mean, it seems like you do a good bit of like I remember a specific video where you were talking about your social media and saying like you like most of your social media is like all wedding stuff, but you want to like start uploading more club stuff, so it's like you can have that balance. Do you do like right now? What would you say like the percentage is like between wedding stuff and other events like private events or club?
It's like 10% clubs, bars,
gotcha.
90% weddings.
90%
right now. And I want it to be 50-50. And yeah, it's just about the content I put out, you know. And I think like wedding DJs, you know, like if you're really good at, because we're really good at being open format and stuff, and we play like a lot of
100%.
stuff. That, like if you just do clubs, you know what I mean, and don't do any weddings, you know, there's like certain things I think that like. Certain routines that I can kind of bust out in the right like open format bar that would be, you know, so that's why I got it. I love the open format bars. It's so much fun, and you can just like, you know what I mean. I love having
do whatever.
Like, I'm kind of, all my weddings this year are between like May and fucking and October, like all of them, like 85 in like 5 months or 4 months, and it's like so much, and like I wish it was
85 in that
it's
short
like,
amount of
it's
time.
Insane, dude. Yeah, it's like 3-4 a
wow,
week, like straight through.
So what are you crazy. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday usually?
Yeah. Or there's weeks like I have a wedding in Cabo on a Wednesday. In May, I have a wedding in Cabo on Wednesday, and then I fly back to do a wedding Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I have another wedding Thursday, Friday. You know what I mean? Like it's literally just insane. I have a couple days in between, but then you have all the prep for it and everything. Like it's just a lot, and like I can't do that. Like this year, I'm gonna grind it out, and make the money, but like you know. I like the balance. It's just all about the balance, you know. If I could do like 1 or 2 weddings a week and then like a club a week, you know, and switch it up and go back and forth, it's just like less pressure because the clubs are just more fun and just, you know, I don't have to worry about anything, you know what I mean, not fucking up the biggest day of somebody's life, you know, and just I don't know, it's just more balance. I don't know. If I did all clubs, I'd get bored of clubs, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, I just like doing both. I love DJing weddings, but then, like, just like anything, you know, you get tired out of it. I think that's the key, like, just balance for me. You know, I've been grinding out weddings for so long, like 100 a year for years.
Wow. I know you did a lot, but Jesus, that is. Do you ever, like, do you get to a point, like, I know you love weddings, like, do you ever get to a point where you're just like, I can't do this much longer? Or are you just like, nah, I'm rocking this out, like, you're just good?
I just get to a point where I need a break. You know what I mean? Like, it does, like, you know what I mean? Like, but by the end, when you do like 80 weddings in 5 months, like by the end, you're just like, I hate love. I'm like, my last couple weddings, I'm like, I hope they fucking break up. This fucking pisses me off. You don't even fuck with her. I could tell you don't fuck with her. Like, I start getting bitter.
Oh my goodness, that is.
Which is anything gets old. If you do too much of anything, you know what I mean? Like, it just
100%.
So,
do you still get nervous before weddings at all? Do you get nervous at all? Like, every wedding. Wow.
Every single wedding. Yeah.
I was gonna say I do, but I don't do anywhere near that many. So I'm like, it would make sense for me to get. But that makes sense. It's good to hear that because I'm like, damn, should I still be getting kind of nervous before these? But yeah.
Anybody who says they don't get nervous, I don't know. Either they're like a robot or like I don't know, or they're capping. Because like I just feel like it's just part of it. Like I'm very comfortable with DJing weddings. But like if you care, you're gonna get nervous. There's always sometimes I get more nervous for certain weddings than others, just because like there's more little details. I'm like, oh man, I'm nervous for this one, or like I see the crowd, I'm like, oh god, I don't know,
right?
I don't know.
Some crowds,
I hope they fucking drink. Am I the only one that goes up to the bartender and is like, yo, are they drinking? And then they'll let me know, and I'm like, listen, man, like, can you try and just pour heavy for me? Pour heavy for me. Just come on, keep them fucked up, please. It'd be greater for all of us. Please, like,
man.
I'd be bribing the bartenders before.
Man,
I always get nervous, man. I don't know. I get nervous before these shows. You know what's funny too? I like before this show, like when I do the countdown, I always get like real nervous, and then like I have like I get like a lump in my throat, and sometimes I like drink extra water right before I start because I get this like little lump, and I feel weird talking just starting the show, and I've done like 100 of these, if not probably 100 by now. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm never gonna get over that. It's just part of the game, you know. It's just part of it. But then once you start going, you're good, you know. I don't know.
It's the craziest thing to me because it's like, no matter what you're doing, like anything like in the live space, or I'm sure it's like in other realms too, it's like you get nervous, but when you start this show, like no one ever in a million years will be able to tell. Like they would think you were like in a countdown, just like pumped, like waiting for it to start, because you come in and you're just
like you're shadow boxing.
The way you come in every time is just like so energetic and like perfect. Like it's crazy to think that, like, I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
It's the crack.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's a little bit.
Oh my goodness, no, that's dope though. That's dope. It's dope.
It's human nature, man. You know,
human nature.
I feel like if you're not getting if you stop getting nervous, you stop caring. You look in the mirror. You know, why aren't you nervous? Do you give a shit? You know, I think it really comes from the care too. You know, that's the only, when I'm not nervous, it means I don't give a shit about something. You know, like I'm trying to think about something I don't give a shit about. That doesn't make me nervous at all. I don't.
It's interesting to think. It's interesting to think about it that way.
But right, doesn't it come from care? You know,
I guess it would, because if you don't care about it, why would you be nervous? Like, yeah, I've never thought about it that way.
You know, like,
that's interesting. Yeah.
You know, last time I wasn't nervous, it was the last time I did a school dance. It was a high school dance. You know why? They're walking in and I was like, fuck these kids. I can't stand any of these kids. Like, they're all like, dances. You know what I mean? And these high school dances are terrible now. I'll drop the hottest shit.
Gracious.
I'll drop a shit that worked at the club the night before, and then they'll come up like, dude, this is whack. No, it's not. It just worked at the club last night. You can't even get in the club. You don't know what's whack. Don't tell me what's whack. You don't know shit about what's whack. You're 16. Fuck these kids. I'm not nervous. I'm gonna play the songs I like.
At this point, I don't even know what kids like. I feel like I'm at the point where I don't even know what they like. I know kind of what they like, but at the same time, they're like, play this, play that, and I'm like, music today is just so on different.
The internet
I can't even keep up. I can't keep up. There's like a million songs coming out every 5 minutes, and I'm just like, what do you like? You like this random YouTube video or YouTube song that's like not even on any platform that I can download? I don't know.
Exactly, and it's just crazy. and that song that they like is just like in that high school they happen to know that song and it's around the high school.
That's the worst.
That's it. It's super regional too. There's so many
regional.
You know
is
what
the
I mean?
Worst.
Like little clicks and South Jersey is really into like this Jersey, like this certain type of Jersey club. But then if you go like a little bit north, they don't even know what it is, and then you know what I mean? Like there's so many times where like I'll play a song that worked at one prom and then it doesn't work at the next one, and I'm like, how? Like, you know what I mean? It's just because they just happen to send that around school. Like there's like the internet broadened everything. Like before the internet, you had what was on the radio and what was hot, and that was it. And it was super
very
more
true.
You know what I mean? It was more black and white rather than like all these little nuances and like, the sound clouds and the mix clouds and it complicates everything. Cause like when I really discovered this like years ago, I had a pretty solid set of crates. I was ripping Sweet 16s and like, and proms and stuff for a long time. Until a couple years ago. And a couple years ago, I'm like, maybe I'll do like make Sweet 16 prom crates as a part of my crates that I sell or whatever, right? Maybe I'll do all that. And I'm looking into it and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't take somebody's money for this because it's not going to work wherever you're at. It's so dependent on where you're at. There's so many I can't put it into one document. I can't. It's too complicated. And that's kind of when it started where like I stopped doing them because I'm just like it's so much work. Like I could do a good job at a prom, don't get me wrong, but like it takes a lot of prep and a lot of research and a lot of like wedding level prep for a third of the money. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
Yeah.
For a third of the money, like I'm not doing all this.
That
prep.
sounds about right.
It's literally that kind of if you want to truly do a good job.
If you really, if you want to like make it a banger, like the kids are going crazy, like especially for like ready. Like, cause they could literally be hyped for like 3 songs, and if you hit one wrong song, they're literally like almost like throwing something at you. They're like, "What are you doing?"
Just stop and look at you and be like,
"Oh my goodness!" Kids like try to come up to the stage sometimes, and like they're like, "Can you?" And I'm just like, "Can you not be on the stage? Like, where are the people that are controlling these kids? Like, why is there 5 people like right behind me?" It's right. It gets crazy. It gets crazy.
And then that's the other thing where like kids yell out the curse words, even when you play the clean song, but they still yell out the curse words. And then the principal comes up to you or the nun comes up to you and acts like it's my problem. Like I didn't tell them to say that. I played the clean version. Well, no, they're still saying it. So you shouldn't play it. Oh, listen, nun. Okay. I'm sorry you had to hear that. All right. I'm sorry you had such a boring life, nun. Don't take it out on me, Mary. All right. Yeah, crazy. I used to do this prep school. It's called Alma, and the nuns hated me. Oh, they hated me at Alma. Oh, and eventually I just they stopped hiring me. I think because I wasn't taking the nun shit. I wasn't taking the shit no more.
Just too much.
You're not my nun. You're not my nun. Don't tell me.
Not mine. Gotta go.
Not my nun. Not my problem. That's what I would say.
The craziest thing I've seen was a school out here, a high school. I was doing a prom, outdoor prom in Arizona. It was my first prom. Literally, there was a big like playing some hype song. I can't remember what it was. But like a big group, like a big circle formed, and literally the biggest smoke cloud came from this crowd of kids. Literally and we're outside into the air. The principal comes over, principal assistant, whoever it was, literally leans into my ear. She's like, "Can you like cut the music? Like we have to go deal with this situation over here. Can you just stop? Can you just stop?" It happened twice too. It happened twice. It was like the most bizarre thing that I had ever witnessed. And but like it wasn't a big deal though. Yeah, it had to have been. But it wasn't even like a big deal. Like they went over there, they dispersed, and then it kept going. I was like, okay.
That's like, hilarious.
It was crazy. In the moment, it was insane. It was insane in the moment. I was like, oh, this is what the type of shit they're on. I'm like, okay.
But I feel like it's too much liability doing kid events. Like we could get blamed for this sort of thing. Like you know what I mean? I don't know. Someone gets pregnant, it's the DJ's fault. You could blame the DJ. You know what I mean? Well, the DJ didn't play that shit. You know what I mean?
Playing that Lovers and Friends.
Yeah, kid comes home high every time he goes to a dance that Nick Spinelli's DJing. It's bullshit. Nick Spinelli's turning my kid on drugs. Like I don't want any of that liability. You know, you ever feel like the old guy at a party? Like you ever DJ at a college party and you look around, you realize like I'm the only 21-year-old here. Oh, if this gets broken up, what's my escape plan?
How are we getting out of here? How are we doing this?
I don't do none of that shit no more. Like, you know, that's what it's like. I remember being like 22, 23, still DJing college parties. I'm like, wait a second. Everybody's a freshman or a sophomore around here. That is not not the move anymore. I'm the adult. That means I could get nope.
That kind of happened to me before. Everyone, like, long story short, end of the night, Cops got called. They come. Everyone left. And I got a ticket. I got like a misdemeanor. Yeah, and I got a misdemeanor. I'll never. Yes. I got it kind of like taken down. Originally it was a misdemeanor. I got it taken down or whatever. But I still had to pay for a ticket for this because everyone left. And then the cops were like, well, we got to give the ticket to someone and you're the only one here. So, and I was like, what? Like yeah. Terrible. Terrible.
I used to throw parties in college, and we literally had security at the door to field anybody who wants to come in or whatever, so I can just like keep cops at bay or whatever, because it was in a house. So I had a house off campus, and we would throw these parties. It was called Club 41 South King Street, where we lived, right? And it was lit. Like I had my DJ shit in there. We had lights, and it would get crazy, right? We would sell cups. We'd make a ton of money. Get like 3 kegs and sell cups, like $2 a cup or whatever, until my security wasn't there for some reason, and cops came, and then everyone knew that the cops were there, and instead of like chilling in the house, everyone dipped and everyone left, and people got arrested. A bunch of underage people got arrested for underage drinking, and they tried to hit me with supplying minors.
Oh no,
shit, whatever that charge was. And for whatever reason, they got dropped. I forget why, and I ended up just getting a misdemeanor for that. But that was the last party I ever threw. Terrible.
That would be,
and that's
the
biggest mistake we made.
That's like, wow.
It was because I was fucking scared. But the biggest thing,
I never even talked
about this publicly. But the biggest thing is we used to do parties every Thursday night, and it was always cool. It was the first time that we did a party on a Saturday, and it just got too fucking nuts, and that was
too crazy.
But that was fun. That was my first. I would say like that's kind of when I got into DJing things. Like I just DJ'd weddings. That's all I knew. And then like I went to college and started like throwing these parties. I'm like, this is fun. Like I want to DJ for these people. Like, you know what I mean? This isn't a wedding. This is like, especially weddings back then were whack. You couldn't do shit. It was literally We Are Family. Like, you know what I mean? That's literally what you played back then. Like, you don't deviate. You don't play Lil Wayne at a wedding. Very rarely. Like they wouldn't even. You know what I mean? Like now it's just you can handle weddings as
do
like
whatever.
Clubs, but like. But yeah, like that. That was almost fucking.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary.
Jumpsuit. A couple close calls.
That could have went way. That could have went like terribly left. I'm happy that it didn't like progress or anything. Jesus.
The end of Club 41. That was it. Shouts to anybody who's been to Club 41. I don't know. DJ Hi Kevin. He's like the only DJ I know that's been there. But yeah.
Oh man.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh no, of course. Appreciate you having me.
I know you got I got your links in the description, so if you guys don't sub,
nice, appreciate you.
To definitely sub to Lift Off. I know you have a Patreon. You do like all these scratch courses, so like feel free to check all that stuff out. I got all the links in the description. A lot of good stuff. I'm a big fan of yours, man. I'm excited to see you grow. You know,
likewise, man. Appreciate
one of my top 5 YouTubers. Your top 5.
Appreciate you, man.
You're one of the. Actually, only have. I was telling you earlier. It's the fucking truth. Like I have 5 that I like, and the rest can all kiss my ass. So that's.
I check out a lot of stuff here and there, but no, you're definitely one. Like I watch a lot. I'm not gonna lie and say I watch every show, but I definitely catch a lot more than I miss. 100%. What you got? Seeing something?
My headphones die.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
You hear me? I can't hear you. What happened?
Oh, did I go? Check. I can hear you.
No, you're coming in. It's got to be my headphones.
Oh.
Hold up. I'm going to just disconnect these.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. Everybody that's following or everybody that's watching this, appreciate you guys for being here. Really, really appreciate you guys. I already know Nick Spinelli is a monster. And your growth, man. We didn't talk about that, but like, I mean, obviously I'm on here talking about me, but no, I was saying just your growth in general. Like, you like torpedo out of the effing, like I remember even following you like on Instagram when you were like maybe 20K and then you just were like 20K, 30, 70, 100, 150, 200. Your TikTok is.
Thanks, man. I try. It was like night and day. It was like, yeah. I was like, what is? I was like, how this guy's fucking rocketing. It's insane, man. Got lucky and went viral, man. And then you got to just feed the beast after that. You know, it's just part of it. Now I got to pay $15 a month for a fucking blue check. Did you believe this shit?
Oh yeah, I did see you talking about that. Yeah, first Twitter, now Meta or whatever. It's definitely gonna be a world where like you were saying, like I want to believe in a world where you don't have to pay for it, but I feel like eventually it's gonna get to a point where it's like if you don't have it, might get to that point.
$15 a month and I still see 10 ads every 5 posts. I'm not gonna be happy. But it's probably going to happen. They got us by the balls, man. We either do it or no one's ever going to see our posts again.
Eventually, it's going to come down to that. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Like the blue check ain't enough. Like they literally put in there like you're going to get more visibility. What? What? So like, now you have to like they're gonna make bajillions of dollars. Buy Facebook stock now. Buy that Meta stock now.
I say they literally could have just said boost visibility, and people probably would have did it. Like that alone. That's the name of the game, man.
Exactly, man. But I don't know. We're gonna keep growing this shit. I'll definitely have you on again too. Appreciate you a lot, bro. Everybody sub to Liftoff. What's your Instagram at? It's at Liftoff _?
Yep, Liftoff 2 underscores.
Okay, at Liftoff 2 underscores for the IG, and then I have the links and everything to your YouTube, so make sure you sub to him. Appreciate you for coming on. And,
of course.
And yeah, man, I'll definitely talk to you soon. You got my number down too. Hit me up anytime, bro.
Yep, definitely. Appreciate you again, man. Thank you.
All right, later, bro. Thank you.